Yes guys, it's Harry here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about becoming a hybrid athlete, hybrid training, how to structure it, why it's great, and telling you everything about hybrid training. Hybrid training basically involves cardiovascular training as well as strength training in the gym as well. Me personally, I've been doing it for around 5 or 6 years now. I used to run full time. I come from a family of runners. Running was what I got into. That's what got me into fitness. I then also wanted to bulk up in the gym when I was around 16. So I decided to also start in the gym as well. But I stopped my running to start lifting, and I got to a point where I started to miss the running and the cardiovascular aspect. So I just decided to do both. And over the next few years, this would develop into hybrid training alongside, the big names like your Nick Bear, your Fergus Crawley, all those kinds of people, watching their videos and being inspired by them and actually learning that you can do both, because it's a very common thing to hear is that cardio kills gains when in fact done rightly, it benefits gains. So I'm going to talk to you guys about hybrid training today. So what makes me qualified to talk to you about hybrid training? Well, I've been hybrid training myself for around 5 to 6 years now. I'm a full-time, fully booked personal trainer as well as online coach as well. Now, my hybrid training career, I suppose, I've taken them both to a good level. So in terms of running, I've done a 19-minute 5K. I've done a 1 hour 27 half marathon, and I'm now training for a marathon that I'm doing in late October this year. And in terms of the strength training as well, I flutter around 65 to 70 kilo. I've done a 3-plate deadlift, I've done a 3-plate squat. Bench, we don't talk about bench, it's not my specialty, but it's up there. And by doing both strength training and running, it's benefited both massively, and I can definitely tell you that right now I am by far the strongest, fittest, and feeling the healthiest I've ever felt. And I cannot recommend hybrid training to anyone enough. So the reason that hybrid training is just so good is because they complement each other well. So I have so many clients that come to me that are runners and they'll have injuries in their hips, in their knees, in their ankles, and strength training and building stronger legs creates a stronger foundation for them to run on, and therefore they get less injuries, become a stronger runner and set faster times. Vice versa, I have clients that are strength training in the gym and they are gassing out on sets and they're not able to push it that little bit further because they're running out of breath or they're short on breath, or they haven't got the mobility or the cardiovascular health, or maybe they're really big and they're really strong and they're pushing good numbers in the gym, but when they are running for the bus later that day after the gym, they're out of breath completely and they miss the bus. Those kinds of things. And that is why hybrid training is just so good. Me personally, I used to strength train and then I missed the running. And now that I've incorporated them both, I feel like an absolute weapon, to be honest, because you're cardiovascularly fit, you're strong, you're healthy. What's not to love about it? So if you're watching this video, it's likely that you want to become a hybrid athlete and you want to learn how to do hybrid training. Now, I actually program this for my clients. So if you're interested in having someone that can take the guesswork out of structuring a hybrid training program and follow someone that's done it for years, click the link in my bio to apply for my one-to-one online coaching service, book a call, and we can have a chat about how I can help you. Now, the first thing when building a hybrid athlete program is you need to decide what the priority is going to be. You can run and lift at the same time, that's absolutely fine, or cycle and lift, whatever your choice of cardio is, but one has to be the priority. You can improve both strength and cardiovascular fitness at the same time, but it works better if you prioritize one over the other at a certain time. Think of it as a chapter or a season. There will always be times where you push harder on one and pull back on the other. Like for me, for example, right now, I'm in a marathon training block, so my running is taking priority. I'm doing more mileage and more intense sessions, and therefore my strength training is reducing slightly, and I'm doing more running focused strength work instead of pure bodybuilding. And vice versa, I've had times where I'm in a bulking phase and I want to pack on some size. So my running mileage will drop and the intensity will drop to a sort of baseline where I can hold it, still enjoy it, but then my strength training will go right up. I'll see improvements in the gym, improvements in my strength, and improvements in my physique. So it's about choosing the right goal. Do you want to get fitter, stronger, and faster? Or do you want to get bigger and stronger? You need to decide on the current goal. And whatever the current goal is, we then work backwards on how we decide the program. So once you've decided your priority, this is going to be what's going to take priority essentially in the training program. So if we're running, we're going to increase the mileage and we're going to set the runs first, and then we're going to program the strength training sessions in. Vice versa, if getting stronger or the gym is the main focus, we're going to program the gym sessions first and then incorporate some runs throughout the week to then complement that. So firstly, I would decide on what days you want to train. You absolutely need to be taking a minimum of one rest day when hybrid training. Hybrid training isn't necessarily any more intense than another style of training. However, it is more volume than most training styles. You could potentially even be training twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, possibly even back to back. So it is a lot of training volume, so you do need to make sure you're getting adequate rest. So I would start slow if you've not done hybrid training before. Start with 3 or 4 days a week and build yourself up to higher mileage and double training days, and just building yourself up overall, because the last thing you want to do is go all in, cause an injury, and have to take 6 weeks off. So you now know what the priority training goal is, you know what days you're going to train. You now need to figure out how you're going to fit it into your lifestyle and make it work day to day. So with hybrid training, especially on double training days, you want to be having adequate rest time between each session. So let's say the goal right now is the strength training. What you would typically do is you may do the run in the morning, first thing, have a couple hours and a couple meals in between, and then train in the gym around midday or in the evening. That means we're fully recovered from the run as best we can be. We've had some food and we've had some time to repair. We're then ready to give it full energy and effort in the gym, as that is then the training priority. Vice versa, if the running is the goal, then you would typically prioritize all your fueling and energy and effort into the run first thing in the morning or in the evening, whenever you decide to fit it in around your lifestyle, and then put less emphasis on the training in the gym. However, you would still train in the gym, but you would just put more emphasis, effort, time and fueling into the run session. One very common mistake that I see with new people moving into hybrid training is they set the priority as the strength training, but they do the run first, which then depletes a lot of the body's energy stores before the weight session. They then go into the weight session and they are then depleted of energy and they can't push quite as hard in the session, and then therefore strength doesn't ever increase because we're not able to push that top end to failure to the point where we can increase muscle growth. So if the priority is the strength training, we want to get the strength training done first ideally, and then do the cardio if we have to do the sessions straight after another. But if you can split them up, that's the best way to do it. If the way your training is constructed that you have to do the sessions back to back, let's say you have an hour's lunch break and you want to dedicate 30 minutes to each, make sure to do the priority training first. So if it's getting faster, do the run first, so you put maximum energy into that. Or if it's strength training first, do the strength training first and then the run. That's the best way to program it. Now, moving into one of the most important factors with hybrid training, and that is nutrition. This is something that I personally lacked on many years ago. I used to really struggle with putting on size and strength in the gym, simply because I was under fueling, because the volume of training didn't match my calorie input. So this is something that I'm huge on with clients, is making sure that we are getting sufficient calories, especially because the volume of the training that you're going to be doing during hybrid training, you are training twice a day and doing 2 different modalities of fitness. It's super important that we are at least hitting maintenance and making sure that we're getting enough to fuel ourselves and recover from sessions, and maybe even eating in a slight surplus, just to make sure we've got an excess amount of food and energy to use during sessions, and making sure that we're going to sleep with plenty of energy to recover from the day's training. The best way to work out how much food you need is if you just drop me a message on Instagram, send me a few details over which I'll ask you for, I'll then send you back your calorie requirements, or you can go onto an online calorie calculator, plug in all your details, and it's going to give you a rough estimate of what you should be eating each and every single day. Now, when it comes to fueling around hybrid training sessions, you want to prioritize your carbohydrates before sessions. So how this would typically work in one of my clients' programs is I would program them a high carbohydrate meal before training, around an hour to 90 minutes before a session, depending on the carbohydrate source. So this could be anything from as simple as a slice of toast with some jam on it. This could be a bagel with some honey. In a pinch, it could be a donut. Whatever is going to give you enough of a carbohydrate hit before your training needs to be done. This is because with the amount of volume of training you're going to be doing with hybrid training, we want to make sure that we are fueled, glycogen stores are topped off, and we're raring to go. And we can give our max effort in the session, because at the end of the day, we want to be improving. So we need to be getting fuel in, prioritizing this, and hitting our sessions hard. Yes, so this is the solid foundations. This is the basics, and this is going to give you the skills and the knowledge to get yourself started in hybrid training. If you have any more questions on hybrid training, please do not hesitate to click the link in the bio and go to my Instagram page, shoot me over a DM, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, because I want to see as many people as possible doing hybrid training, because in my opinion, it's the best way to train. You feel good, you look good, you're fit, you're strong, can't go wrong. Now, if you'd like someone to just take the guesswork out of it for you, create you a custom tailored program that works for you and gets you working towards your hybrid athlete goals, click the link in my bio to apply for my one-to-one online coaching service. We'll jump on a call, we'll discuss your goals, and if we're a good fit for one another, I'll get you on the team. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.